Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for our virtual Touch a Truck. We are hanging out with the largest truck in our fleet, the vacuum truck. And I want to get you right over and introduce you to my coworker, Chandler. He operates the truck. We're going to learn more about him, his role here at CPW, and take a look at the really big vacuum truck. So, hey, Chandler, how's it going? Good. It's Friday. We've made it to the weekend. I know that you guys are working day to day like you always do. So thanks for keeping those essential utilities up and going. Tell me a little bit about your job here at CPW and what you do.
Well, as you see, I run this big VacCon truck, and all we do is we clean the sewer lines, make sure everybody's still flowing, and prevent backups and roots and stuff like that will cause major issues in our main lines. But I can end up cleaning the lines with my hose on the front of the truck. Has a big nozzle, it goes into here and ends up swirling through the line and cutting all the roots out and grease, any kind of big particles in the line. And I can also end up sucking out all the bad stuff as I'm cleaning the line. That way it don't end up going down farther down the line, blocking up even farther.
So it sounds like you kind of come out when bad things happen.
Well, I do say that. We do get calls in the middle of the night or, during the day most times when people are home, and, we have to end up unblocking a blockage in a line caused by grease or, paper towels or wipes or, any kind of products like that. And, we also do day-to-day work as in sucking out pump stations, maintaining the lines, as cameraing the lines, cleaning the lines just to prevent backups. That's what we try and do in the bad areas or in the new subdivisions as well.
So how long have you worked here at CPW?
I'm going on 4 years now.
That's right. Okay. Right around the time I've been here. Tell me a little bit about your background and what type of classes and certifications you need to drive a big old truck like this.
Well, this is, I never did this when I first come here. I worked for an asphalt company and, did a little grading and landscaping as well. And now I come in here and I was like, wow, I'd like to run this truck. So I ended up going to get my Class A CDL with a tanker endorsement, and they put me on the truck, and I've enjoyed it ever since. I got my license.
Yeah.
It's actually fun to run, but it's dirty as well. It's a dirty job.
It is a dirty job. I was sort of thinking you're like Mike Rowe, that show Dirty Jobs. You get your hands dirty, but as I was talking to you earlier, you said you really do like this job. What do you like so much about it?
It's a repetitive job, but you're in different parts of the community. You have a different scenery every day, and you get to talk to customers, and you're just out in the field working. I can't stand being cooped up inside, so I'm an outside person, and it's just what I love to do.
Yeah. So if we have any kids tuning in and they've got any questions, feel free to type them into the comments and I'll be sure to ask Chandler. But what type of advice would you give kids that are watching this that maybe want to go into the utility business?
If you like working outside or like digging in the dirt or, want to get dirty, go for it. It's fun to do, but, it's hard work as well.
It is. What would you say is a normal day for you? 9 to 5, or does it vary if you get called out on?
4, normally, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and then, we get called after. Once a month, I'm on call, and, I'm on call, Monday through Friday, or, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, through the week. And I get called in the middle of the night, it could be early in the morning, it could be just during the day, but, it is what it is. We got to keep everybody flowing.
That's right. And keeping people flowing, what would you say is the biggest problem that we're facing right now related to people being home right now?
People doing a lot of cooking, people pouring grease down the drains, and it ends up hardening the line, and it just causes problem after problem. People using a lot of wipes, flushing wipes on the toilet, that's not good. Paper towels as well, or any kind of those Clorox wipes they're using, don't flush those. It just causes problems.
Yeah.
It just blocks everything up and it just goes on from there.
Yeah, so without showing me quite, we'll get to it, but how exactly does this truck work?
Well, the front end of the truck here, this is where all the cleaning comes in. You clean the lines with this nozzle, or this hose and nozzle, and it actually spins through the line and breaks everything up. And then this right here is a vacuum. I have tubes I put on the end of it, and I put it inside the manhole as I'm cleaning the line, and I suck everything out, and it goes into my debris tank in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And then, once I'm full, or, after so many couple days of doing it, I have to go dump down at our disposal. So that's really how it works.
And you said that water can really flow in and out with this truck.
Yes, I can actually put water in the line and go down the line and clean it and pull back. I can also suck out, and then if there's a, I can empty the water out in another manhole. I just can't empty the, solids. I can empty all the water back in another manhole. It's called decan. So
it sounds like you have a pretty what's the word? A job that is necessary here at CPW just to make sure that people continue to have reliable utilities.
Yeah, if you can't flush or use the bathroom like that, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm going to let Chandler go around and crank up the vehicle here, but I set up a little display for you guys to show you what Chandler was talking through. These are some of the things we are encouraging you to not flush down the drain. So baby wipes, paper towels, disinfecting wipes, even though they say compostable wipes, body wipes, antibacterial hand wipes, these absolutely cannot be flushed down the drain. They might disappear on your end, but they eventually end up on our end and they cause problems with our equipment. So, please encourage folks to not flush these baby wipes, hand wipes, any other thing other than pee, poop, and toilet paper. Those are the only things we want going down our drains. And then when it comes to cooking, I did some cooking here this week. And what I did is I canned the grease, meaning I just drained it off and I put it in a old salsa jar, and I'm going to throw that back in the trash. So please do not pour your fats, oils, or greases down the kitchen sink. It will clog our lines, and then eventually you're going to have to call in a plumber to clean out your line. So yeah, I'm going to walk you to the very, very back of the truck just because we haven't seen all of it. It is our biggest of the fleet. We do have a rolling billboard of our message of can the grease to prevent sewer backups. So fats, oils, greases can't be put down the kitchen sink. Lots of bells and whistles and buttons and lights. And so yeah, I'm gonna have Chandler demonstrate how it works a little bit. We joke with the kids that we go see the Ninja Turtles with this truck. So yeah, Chandler's actually got a remote here.
This actually runs boom wireless.
Now I understand that you have a remote, but you can also use the buttons there on the display.
We also use these right here to run the boom as well.
Now why would you need it to be able to move like that?
Well, sometimes there's a manhole inside the grass you can't put the truck into if you're on sync. So you have to, or on a right of way, you can't reach, so you push your boom out that way and it extends out about 15 foot, and you put your tubes on the end of it and you go down deep in the manhole. Or, when I'm lined up to a manhole, it's easier to clean one when you line straight up to it. So this will bring this out. You can line straight up with it.
Yeah.
Line up all the way to the end with it. And that's where it was.
Wow. Really, really cool. And so you said that this boom will actually extend?
Yep.
really cool. So what does the rest of the day look like for you?
Well, we gotta go out, hammer a couple of lines, and go check a couple inspections, and new services, and the new housing, and new subdivisions. So that's really the rest of the day for me, and it's Friday.
And that's a Friday.
The weekend.
That's right. And hopefully you're not on call, so you can make.
Go off the day.
All right, that's the best news. All right, well, thanks guys so much for tuning in to our virtual Touch a Truck. Hope you learned a little bit about our sewer department and what Chandler does here to make sure that you all have reliable utilities. If you have any questions, pop them into the comments. We'll make sure to get them answered for you, but hope that you all have a great start to your weekend, and we will see you all very soon.